Let's get it on. Welcome you all to all collective calls that we hold on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So today's Thursday, and yeah, we're happy to present our collective call and three amazing speakers to share the pitch deck and discuss the project, and then we'll roll Q&A. So you know the drill. Just to remind you real quick, we are Ivan and Malika hosting today's meeting as always. And as I said before, we got three amazing projects. So let me introduce him real quick. So we got Gabi, co-founder at ZKON, then Arbas, co-founder at Ceres Labs, Ian Abneshik, hopefully I pronounced that right, but correct me if I'm wrong, a co-founder at Metacraft project. So guys, real quick brief how we usually do such calls. So for the speakers, you have 5 minutes for the pitch part and about 10 minutes, maybe more or less, for the Q&A section. We'll add timer to keep track of time. And for you participants, if you have any questions, just feel free to put them in the chat section or just raise your hand, and that way we'll communicate directly and you'll be asked directly. So yeah, thanks for connecting. Be sure to check your camera, microphone, and screen sharing. And yeah, let's get this meeting started. Gabi, you're first one on the list to present your deck. Happy to see you. Passing the mic to you whenever you're ready.
And yeah, I would like to thank you guys for giving us the chance to present ZKON with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to have you.
So ZKON stands for Zero Knowledge Oracle Network. We started 3 years ago with a quite bold idea, which was, what if we could create a lending marketplace where you could effectively, put your banking money as a collateral to your, Web3, lending protocols. So we realized that something was missing there, and the thing that was missing for us back then was, how do you trust the data? How do you trust the provider when you are, simply working on within the Web3 ecosystem? Most of the times that the data which is living inside the blockchain is right. But what happens when you want to bring off-chain data, and when we speak about more precisely about Web2 personal data, how do you trust the counterparty, right? So we realized that there was a huge problem back then that was about how companies and how other people can trust, even on the Web2 ecosystem or Web3, the off-chain data. And the problem is huge. Even now that we are talking about AI, how do you trust AI outputs, inputs, right? So the scale of the data that we are generating every day, it's getting bigger and bigger dramatically. So when we were trying to fix that bridge of data between Web2 and Web3, we realized that the current oracles didn't serve our needs, and our needs back then were very specific. How do I know that the counterparty that I'm dealing with, it's that given bank, let's say Lloyd's Bank, and it's not somebody else, right? So yeah, we believe that zero knowledge and ZKTLS systems will be more and more embedded within the Web3 oracles, just to make sure that the data that you are getting on any Web3 place, it's the source. We believe that is there, and we are just on the right time right now. Of course, the market size is super big. We are not only talking about Web3 data use cases, we are talking about Web2 use cases. And actually, we are already doing with big corporates in Europe. So yeah, we see more and more like Web2 ecosystems or infrastructures or companies, big corporates that they have day-to-day issues in verifying the data that they are injecting. It's also the Web2. The solution, we are a ZKTLS solution, so we embed the zero knowledge proving mechanisms into the TLS and HMAC sessions. That means that any data connection that you do with a counterparty, now you just won't receive the data back, the data response, but also the TLS session and a proof of the HMAC, meaning that the data source and integrity are now verifiable for your use cases. The products that you can build are, limitless, I would say. If we are talking about Web3, we are positioning ourselves as an oracle. We are the first oracle at Mina protocol, and then If we talk about Web2, we can talk, for instance, about verifiable agents, where you can start verifying the inputs that the agent AI agent ingest, and then the outputs that these agents are getting through the logs, right? Which right now you don't know exactly when and how these agents are operating. Yeah, there are some other competitors as well. You might know ZKPass, Palo, Click Social, and Reclaim. Our main edge is that we use APIs. So instead of scrapping the web, as most of the guys are doing, we are able to ingest our ZK methods inside any API request, which is a bit more elegant. It's much more scalable to build more robust solutions. We have pricing structure for Web3 models and also for corporate models, which we have been requested to deliver. We are working with Mina Foundation, and some other Oracle's solutions out there to integrate our solutions. As I said, the pipeline is getting bigger and bigger. Probably this is not updated since we already have like some other corporate, well-known corporate companies within Europe that are already working with us.
Please.
And yeah, the go-to
time's already out, but yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, then I guess that's it. Yeah, we can leave it here.
Yeah, Paul, you can always expand the topics further in the Q&A section, so don't fret. Yeah. Now to Q&A part, guys, feel free to leave your questions to ZKON project. And if you have any interest in getting in contact with our founders and projects, be sure to check the chat section, find all the contact details like Telegram, email, and all this stuff. So yeah, looking forward to your questions, guys. Feel free to leave them in the chat. Okay, guys, so while others are waiting, let me be the first one addressing the question. So yeah, we briefly talked about marketing, and yeah, you didn't finish it up. So could you tell us what marketing strategies have been most effective for your project?
Yeah, to be honest and completely transparent, it's not our best, area, I would say. I think we are pretty good, at the cryptography technical level. But the good thing is that we have plenty of support from the Mina Foundation. So for instance, one of the biggest go-to-market strategies that we're going to launch during this quarter is that, Mina Foundation going to be granting around $200,000 to $300,000 for projects that builds on top of us. So yeah, I guess that's going to be converting lots of projects being built on top of ZKON. And then on the Web2 side, we have a pretty good network of people who's introducing us to some corporates. So yeah, I guess we are pretty much covered for this Q1.
Okay, that's cool. I have another question, but yeah, we have received just question in the chat, so let me read that one. Given that privacy is a core focus for ZKON, how do you address potential regulatory concerns while maintaining a decentralized approach?
Yeah, so to answer that question, the key piece here is the MPC. So when the network of provers that we are building is based on MPC, so imagine that you are doing an API request to Binance.com, right? The other provers or the provers network, what would effectively do is have a piece of the handshake secret, if you will, of that session. Then they won't be able to access to the underlying data or to the output data, but they will be able to access a piece of the secret of that session. So yeah, this is how we ensure that the data that it's being processed, it's being provable by multiple MPC providers, and then that proof and that data that you are getting is sound and correct.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for answering that one. We've got another question as well, so let me read this. With ZKON's use of ZK-TLC and MPC, how to ensure that the system remains scalable as the number of connected users and data grows over time?
Yeah, that's a good one. The truth is, in general, processing zero knowledge it's not the most efficient thing. But we are now starting to use precomputations. That means that it's kind of an optimistic approach where, we're gonna serve the data and then maybe delay a bit more the proof. So this is the part where we solve the scalability, because the bottleneck is zero knowledge. The MPC is super fast. The MPC protocol, it's very fast, very efficient. So it's having multiple parties, having a piece of that signature and getting an output is easier, but then generating the proof is where the system lacks a bit. But with these pre-computes, I think that we are gonna just be fine.
Okay, thank you for addressing that one. Guys, do we have more questions? Otherwise, I have my question in store. So yeah, I'd like to hear more from our participants. Okay, Paul, so I wanted to really know your plans for 2025, because we didn't have time for you to stop by your roadmap and all the stuff that comes along. So what's next?
So as I said, this Q1 gonna be mainly focused on MENA ecosystem. I know it's not the most crowded place in the Web3, but still there is a lot of very interesting stuff going on over there. So I think we are on the forefront of zero knowledge and R&D on that research. We are gonna implement private credentials management. So you will be able to, to transfer your bank account knowledge into the Web3 with total privacy, and we would never manage or store the private credentials as others are doing, like Clique Socials. They are effectively managing your secrets, which is quite bad. But this is gonna be like very huge, technically speaking. But yeah, in terms of partnerships, as I said, MENA Foundation will provide that huge grant for builders to build on top of us. So if you are thinking to build something on top of ZKTLS, let us know. I'm sure that a grant will come. And then, we are working also, as I said, in big projects like the European Union trusted data spaces, where, big consulting firms are there. So they are seeking right now, more robust solutions that can effectively manage, data sharing and privacy settings. So that's kind of it for the 2025.
Okay, that's cool to hear. Really wish you the best of luck this year. So yeah, guys, that was ZKON and Paul presenting that project. And guys, if you're interested, feel free to get in contact by searching all the contact details in the chat. We're moving on. Thank you, Paul, for tuning in. Happy to see you again. And
thank you, guys.
Okay, so our second project today is going to be Ceres Labs, and it is Arbaz who's going to present it to you. So yeah, thank you, mates, for being here. Passing the mic to you. Happy to see you, Arbaz. Hello.
Hi, Rank.
Yeah, hi.
So I'm representing Chingari as BDA. So Chingari was invented after TikTok was banned in India since 2018, and we have grown very rapidly since then. As you can see, our main product is a Web3 platform where anyone can participate for their influence and interact with social skills, right? And our D app, which is Chingari, it has Web3 audio room and live trading platform. We have around 200 million downloads all together with Apple, Play Store, etc. And we have 125k daily active users as well. And Chingari was backed by Solana and Aptos. So we are currently also changing to base network. So recently Chingari has ventured into Web3 development sector. So let me show you. So this is the Ceres Labs. Chingari is the parent company of Ceres Labs. So in Ceres Labs, we develop Web3 product, which we white label to all the projects and the users. So they don't have to waste 3 to 6 months to create any product, right? Any project would need to develop, invest time while the community waits and keep checking the milestone they hit. So that's what we provide. We provide on-time projects, on-time development, and for the project to deliver it to the community. So we have developed multiple projects from trading bot to pump.fund. I'm sure you have used pump.fund, right? So we have created pump.fund copy, which you can see here. And this is the video of the pump.fund. And this is the actual website. This is the product. Since pump.fund, it has a very basic structure, but it has very large user base. And recently, as you can see, from November 2024, Pom.Fund has generated around 100 million in revenues. So that's what we want to capture, right? 4 to 5% of that revenue would give us around 5 to 10 million per day. So we have this one, and we are also working on GMGN, a clone of GMGN, and also Chingari has recently developed a platform where anyone can live stream their token launch. And I'm sure you have heard that Pum.Fun recently launched that feature, but they had to take it down because the community was very, not well taken with that, and I mean, there was a content issue. So what we are doing is we have our own Chingari.live where anyone can launch their token and live stream with the audience. What does to the audience is that it bridges the gap between developer and the community. No one has to go through Telegram joining and spamming those spam bots that present in the TG, right? So we provide the platform where developer and user can interact, and it also helps build trust with the developer. So no one can work the platform, no one can work that project, right? As for the Chingari, so all our users are KYC verified, and we have active users with 3.3 million, wallet holders, and around 125k daily active users. So what I'm looking for here is deal flow for Chingari and Ceres Labs. In Ceres Labs, we provide development products, and in Chingari, where our Web3 app, which has around 200 million downloads, we are advertising other products in our Ceres Labs. And this is our Chingari D app, which is available on Play Store and Apple Store. This is our official website. I'm sorry, I didn't have the time to create a pitch deck, so I'm just using my websites.
Oh, yeah, Arbaz. Yeah, thank you for your pitch deck. We already received a question in the chats. Let me read this one. I have this app for a couple of years now. Kind of interesting. Okay, so here goes. With partnerships across major blockchains like Solana, Aptos, and Base, how do you ensure Ceres products remain adaptable to the ever-evolving landscape of blockchain tech?
So we also recently having a hackathon funded by Aptos. So KYC users who are very, that's why we have around 250k users who are KYC verified. So that gives us a trustable user base who are fully into Web3 and they are not bots. And we have, traffic those users from our Ceres Labs and Chingari to our. We also have a launch in this one, Astro Live, a new platform. So we're also building and developing on Solana, Aptos, and Base. Recently, we ventured into Base, and we have multiple projects on that. And our Ceres Labs is auditor, and we are looking forward to it.
Okay, I also have a question. So so what is what's your revenue model?
All right. So our revenue model would be white labeling. I'm sure you're aware of white labeling, right? It's basically a SaaS product, software as a service. So in Web3, we provide blockchain as a service. So every project requires essential tools, right? Every project has a token and has a community. So for example, our trading bot is just like a bong bot, but with additional feature from DCA, daily cost averaging, sniping, and all. So a project who doesn't have a team or a budget to, create those bots given the month and deadline, so they can just white label those products for a affordable price instantly, and they can have their users trade and use those products. The revenue model would be the revenue fee generated from those trading volume. Every trading bot has like 10 to 15 million daily trading volume, right? So our model is 0.5% of every trading fee generated goes to the project. So they won't be losing those money to DEX and a centralized exchange. They'll be straight lending to their own project.
Okay, okay, I gotcha. Thank you for answering that one. And I also have another question that came into my mind right now. So basically how Chingari connects communities and communities with developers. It's really interesting how this process goes on.
So Chingari.online is basically, a bridge to trust with the users and the developer. From recent event of Pum.Fun, where they had to take that down as the community was very irresponsible with the live streaming. So we have all the projects and the users will be KYC when they launch a project and live streaming those projects. so that community can be trusted with the project, as there won't be any rug pulls in our platform, as project will be KYC and the users are KYC. So the both user and developer will benefit each other as they have mutual interest in this. Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Really interesting. And we've got another question in the chat. Okay, so your platform is a strong presence in the creator economy with Chingari. How do you see the integration of Web3 and GameFi further enhancing user engagement in the future?
So actually, we already have 3 games in our D app. So we launched through nostalgic games like Snake and Ladder and Ludos, and it's very popular in Asia. And we recently launched a racing game as well. So user can buy in-game assets and win those, play with multiplayer games, and convert those in-game assets to fiat. So this gives both the users and the creators mutual benefit. Also, Chingari has live audio room, video room, where anyone can create the topic of the interest and interact with the user. Web3 community doesn't have that, like user base where individuals can connect and create those, circle where they share idea, make revenue.
Okay, and this question also has some extra. Okay, also it aims to be a driving force in mass adoption for crypto. How do you plan to bridge the gap between traditional users and the blockchain ecosystem, especially with your white label solutions?
So traditional users are not very familiar with Web3 space. So we are driving the research adaptation in Web3 has increased. It has given very much exposure to Web3 and SaaS products. So a lot of community are transitioning into Web3 space. So they need an plug and play model type of products. They don't want to spend time and money and resource and wait around for months to get things started while the community is just backing on them. So I think the Web2 transaction to Web3 would be very much easier if what we provide Web3 SaaS goes to every hand, every project and every individual developer, so they can meet the timeline and doesn't hold back what community hopes in.
Okay, thank you for answering that final question. Unfortunately, that's all time we have. So thank you for your time, Arbaz.
Right.
Really happy to see you here. It was a pleasure hearing you out. But we're moving on.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise,
And
thank you.
yeah, here is the third project today to present the pitch deck, and it is called Metacraft. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is Metacraft. That's correct. So Abhishek, thank you for connecting. Passing the mic to you as well. Glad you made it.
Pleasure meeting you, Ivan. And you can call me Abhishek. I know my name is a little long. So I'm Abhishek. I'm founder and CEO of Metacraft. And at Metacraft, we are building tools and solutions for simplifying the game design. And games have been integral part for like a lot of us. We have born playing games, visualizing virtual worlds, and taking us to a very different experience. Even the games which we played in childhood, a lot of us won't have forgotten that, right? Most of the games right now, it's not easy to build them. One of our clients, Danny Kaza, he tells us that when he was building his game design studio from last 2 years, even right now, he's not able to have full-time employees because of the complexities of each game. Not every game is exactly same, and every game has their own logics, their own technical requirements, and building on simple frames is not possible. And that's one of the reason, even if we have 50 plus different tools, but when you are going to build a game or experience applications, you have to jump from one application to other. The whole market is fragmented with 100 plus applications, but no resource to simplify the whole process. Even this is one of the UX of Blender. And for a newcomer, this is like a jungle. It won't be easy for them to start building games, right? And that's what we are trying to solve with Metacraft AI by giving a epicenter where people can collaborate and build 3D games and experiences with AI agents to who fuel the design accuracy and simplicity for launching game for anyone. So this is some of the snippets of our platform for any newcomer wants to create some game assets or games on any game engine. They can start with simple conversation level discussion with our AI agents and parallelly build these game assets, which can be exported or connected with these game engines to launch their applications. Even not just being a kind of agentic tool, but also we help them to monetize these assets. So we have different IP layers which people can launch. So we are closely working with Story for that. So for these studios and freelancer, it helps to them to monetize these content easily. Also having a flagging layer, it helps them to track who is the person actually using these content, or some third party who has infringed the copyright and is getting monetized through it. So it's easy to track, and having this structure, it's simplifying the whole design process and monetization for a lot of studios and games. This is one snapshots of how our platform work. You can see right side there are different animation tools, stylized tools, and lot of game studios and freelancers when they are working with their clients. Not everyone is building one category of game. Different games have their different stylized. Like Minecraft, they have voxel based structures. Then you have Fortnite, which has more robust kind of design structure. So on Metacraft, when you build a content, it can be converted to these different categories of styles. In less than 3 minutes, you are actually building these assets, which is giving you almost 18x faster results for content generation as well as better monetization and ROIs. Even in terms of cost, when you compare us to other competitors in the market, we are charging less than $5 to build one assets, and with flexibility to use it in any design tool and desktop applications or mobile applications, cohesive as well as simple to use for anyone. So that's our traction so far. We are working closely with Powerchain to build our L1 on top of them, design ecosystem for 3D designers, studios, and game enthusiasts to build, launch, and collaborate. Already we have 10 plus applications who have integrated with us. UGC content layer with Gaurav Go Studios, which have built two games. One was recently featured in Brazil Gamescom, and almost 17,000 plus 3D assets have been generated so far. And market as well, it's big. If you compare the market right now, we are focusing on, that's almost $2.4 billion, specifically in APAC region. And but one thing good about this space, despite we have so many competitors, most of the competitors take less than 30% of this market. So we have still good space where we can expand, grow, and have become the solution for this global design audience. And this is my team. Gaurav handles the AI and platform development. He is our CPO and CTO. I handle design and operations. And BD part, we recently last year raised our first angel check, started our product development, uh, did some POCs, and signed a couple of studios on board. And we are also part of Pivot Ventures. They are one of our incubators, and we are currently raising our
Sounds really
seeds.
awesome.
So definitely would be welcome. If you want to know more details, you can shoot a mail or get in touch with me.
Yeah, absolutely. As we said before, you can find all the contact details in the chat of our speakers. So we already received a couple of questions, so I'll be ready to read them in the moment. So with 35 million plus users already on board, what's your plan to make Metacraft the go-to platform for 3D content creators?
See, I think already in market there are different tools which people are using. But one thing good with us is that you are not just limited on a creation side. You are getting different options to monetize and curate these content, which is one thing which is lacking in all these platforms, be it Sketchfab, which has become more kind of a marketplace. And if you are going as a creator, you are not going to get good enough customizations. You are the one who is going to do that. With our platform, we are shortening the whole design process for you. So ultimately, for if I want to make money, if I want to sustain, I'm going to use Metacraft definitely more than any other platform.
Absolutely. Thank you for answering the first question. Here goes the second. How do you see AI-powered 3D creation changing the game for both beginners and pros in the digital art world?
I think it is opening the door for a lot of enthusiasts because I was a 3D designer myself. In my college, I started learning Unity and different design engines as well, but it was too complex for me. So I started my career into CAD CAM space, which is more into like SolidWorks. But and same thing is a result in the market itself. If you right now try to figure out and talk to these customers, a lot of people just cannot enter this space because of lack of tools. So what Canva did in last decade, this is something what we are trying to do, but in 3D space, and that is one of the reason we are trying to, we call ourselves Canva but for 3D application.
Okay, gotcha. And I've got a question. So who's your main target audience?
So we are right now focusing totally on B2B model because that helps us to sustain our stomach and living. Targeting these studios who are using our APIs to build content for their game designs. In next phase, we want to target small communities and indie communities who are building their own games.
Okay, that's cool.
Also, also one more thing, sorry to interrupt. With PowerChain, we are working to launch a list of different mini games, just like Telegram has created their mini game ecosystem. We are trying to build it on PowerChain. That will also onboard a lot of Web2 and Web3 users in these gaming ecosystem.
That's really interesting how you're gonna bring people in. But yeah, despite that, we got another question in the chat. So one more: what's been the biggest surprise so far in helping people turn ideas into tradable assets with Metacraft AI? And thanks for the pitch, by the way.
Oh, okay. That's a question. I thought
that was the question. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I missed you. Yeah, I'm just checking the chat. I will read it. One more. What's been the biggest surprise so far?
Yeah.
Helping people put ideas into. Okay, I think a lot of people still in the space, they get surprised that okay, something is there right now which can help them instantly create the 3D content they want, because most of the studios I have spoken with in India, they are not aware of this. Even some of them who are aware of this right now, Mishi, one of our competitors, they charge $300, $400 a month, which is way above than a lot of studios compared to what they are earning, right? So compared to them, a lot of these people get surprised that okay, this can be done at so low cost and at so better speed. So I think this gives us also motivation as well to just keep going on and building Metacraft.
Okay, so here's another one. Do you have another link?
So this is our web. Oh, sorry. So this is our website link. You can just drop off here, and if you want access to the platform, just let me know. I can whitelist your mails, and you can try the platform as well.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you for this. And we still have time for the last question. Guys, if you have anything, feel free to put it in the chat. Okay, so I'm going to be asking the finishing question. So how do you see Metacraft AI evolving for the next maybe 2 or 5 years? And yeah, what's your key milestones?
So we want to create our own ecosystem and not just be limited as a tool. Building an ecosystem will also give exposure to different category of audience we have, right? Not just being limited to studios or freelancers. So that is second milestone we want to achieve. Post that, I think we want to also enter into enterprise space, because a lot of adoption is right now happening. Even just today, Google announced acquiring HTC to rebrand it as Android XR. So next 5 years is going to be very important for XR space, and we want to be one of the biggest leaders from SEA.
Well, that's pretty cool. Really excited to see you flashing in this 2025 year. So yeah, that was Abhishek from Metacraft. I was happy to see you, mates. Wish you best of luck. But yeah, that's all the time we have.
Thanks a lot, guys.
So yeah, guys, if you want to be pitching next in our collective calls that we hold every Tuesdays and Thursdays, be sure to check out our forum for participation. You can fill in, be our next guest. And also, we are super excited to collect some feedback from you to make these calls a little bit better. So yeah, please do that. And yeah, see you next week. That was Ivan Malika presenting these collective calls. So yeah, wish you a great weekend. Yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.
Thanks guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.